feel like I have just woken up from the longest slumber I've ever had. I think that's why I like bears. Hi, welcome back to the studio. I am so happy because it's spring. It's fully spring here. We have flowers blooming everywhere, wildflowers and tulips, and the trees are budding and the peonies are coming up, and it's just, it feels so good. It feels so good. And I just, there's something about this. I feel like I need to remember that in the winter, I'm a little grumpy or quieter or harder on myself even. And in the spring, I have a lightness and I'm excited. And yeah, I have that feeling right now and it feels great. Today, we are going to work on this painting. We're going to maybe quickly start another painting. I'm going to show you some sketches I've been working on, tell you a little bit about what I've been writing about. I thought I should share that, and just have a little bit of time in the studio. So glad you're here. So glad you're here. Last time we were together, we worked on this painting, which is going to be a floral. And like I promised, I did not do anything to it. I just left it as it was. So today what we're going to do, I think, is add some whites and some greens. And that'll be the next stage of it. I think that's where I'm at. But I held my promise. I've wanted to work on it and I didn't, because I thought, oh, I'll just wait till I film. And it's been kind of gray here and this is the first sunny day. So I thought, oh, this is a good day to work on it. I've moved things around in my studio. I don't know if you can see this. Okay. I've moved things around in my studio to make room for my Peloton, because I got cleared to ride my bike. And so I'm doing it and I'm so excited to add that to my recovery from my knee surgery. Anyway, and so I'm a little crowded over here right now. We're going to work on it. My husband and I are going to try to figure out maybe moving some furniture, but for now, this is where we are. So let's make a green. We're going to make a green and add some greens to the painting and just get started. And the green I think I'm going to make is, I'm going to use a little bit of that cerulean and yellow and maybe some white. So first I'm putting in mostly just yellow. We'll start with that. Start with the yellow and a dot, like literally a dot of the cerulean to see. Like add it slowly, right? It's such a strong color. I'm afraid it will overwhelm. Oh, that's a bright like parrot green. You can look at that. Here, I'm gonna go turn the lights on and see if that just helps in general. Maybe that'll help. Maybe that'll help. But my idea is first to just add some greens in, because a floral is mostly green. And had I done this differently, I would have started with greens, but I didn't, and that's okay. Doesn't matter. I can add them now. So get a little bit of that in. Now I'm going to add a little bit of white and shift the color just a little bit. And then just adding in, because I know I'm going to want, leaves of some kind. I'm not actually making leaf shape at this point. I'm just putting in some green. We'll also do some stems, but first I'm going to shift it a little bit darker now. I'm going to add a little bit more yellow Now you know this, that I work in the same cup over and over when I'm working in one color. And so that's what I'm doing today, same thing. So I added a little yellow and I added a little bit more of the cerulean. Probably not enough. We'll add some more, make it a little bit darker. And if I need it to get really dark, I might add a little bit of black. But this is looking pretty good. You can see it here. Yeah, you can see that there. So part of this is I want to figure out stems, right? I know I want to do a glass vase, which I don't think I've ever done. And so that'll be new for me to do a glass vase. But I'm excited. I'm excited about the prospect of it. So put in a little bit of stems, put in a little bit of the darker green up in here to get some depth, right? You can see I hold the brush really trying to hold it not like I'm painting something. I'm just trying to get color on the canvas. Oh, and can we talk about, I do not like, I've not enjoyed painting on canvas. Since painting on those wood panels, I feel like, I don't know, I just don't love it, which is a bummer because, you know, canvas is pretty traditional. And I'm like, oh, I don't know if I like it. So I'm going to add a little bit more, brighten up that green a little bit, just to get a little bit of different color in what will hopefully be the stem area. Yeah. Okay, so now we have some good greens. I feel pretty good about that. Yeah. That actually has to dry. So let's let that dry and then I'll show you some of my sketchbooks. Although I have a lot of green in here, so we might also put this in a sketchbook so that it gets used for something. So let's do that. I'm just gonna flip you overhead. All right. I have been working on horses because this is the year of the horse in Chinese astrology, and I'll drop a picture. Last year was year of the tiger, and I painted a tiger, and this year in that same frame I want to put a horse, but I don't draw horses. I'm not a horse person. I wasn't a horse girl. My daughter and I think you can split girls into two kinds of people, horse girls and not horse girls, and I was not a horse girl. But so I'm learning. So this was my first horse, which does not quite look like a horse, and it's a little scary, but first attempt. Let's see. And then, oh, and here, then I drew these, and my husband thought this one looked a little, and maybe this one, they look like dinosaurs. So there's that, but this was fun to do. What I'm working on when I'm drawing this is the shape, trying to get comfortable with the shape. And so hence the different horses. Here are more. They are, you know, all different. My grandson was very impressed with this horse. It is not quite right. Obviously, I didn't have enough room on the page, but this was looking at a reference. Everything else was not looking at a reference. So that's kind of fun. This is not the kind of horse I really want to learn to draw, but I was kind of like, well, I should at least try. Let's see. Oh, and then I did these, which I really like. So I'm getting closer to what I like. I love this horse. I love this horse. I like this leg. There's things about this that I like. So I was getting closer. And then, let me grab it. When my grandson was here, we have the tradition of my husband puts butcher paper on the table and we draw the whole time he's here. And I drew this, and this is very close to how I want to draw horses. And you're thinking, but that doesn't look quite like a horse, but that doesn't matter to me. I kind of like the immaturity of it, the simplicity of it. There's something I just really love about that, so much so that I cut it out and then brought it into my studio. I liked it so much. So I have a piece of paper that I gessoed, and what we'll do is we'll start the first layer of that painting, which eventually will be based on one of these horses. But let's get started with that. We'll go back onto the easel. I find it really helpful in my process to really be working on multiple things because stuff has to dry. And so I'm just going to set this down over here out of the way. And then the frame I have takes this paper that's 18 by 24. This is printmaking paper that I've gessoed. And you might be wondering, why do you gesso the paper? And the reason I do that, I'm gonna move this down a little bit. The reason I do that is because it just becomes a sort of magical thing to paint on, this gessoed printmaking paper. And so this will just be the background. Let's see, to do this. How am I going to do this? It's bigger than the clips. It's like bigger, right? It's bigger, but all we need right now is a paintbrush, or let's use marker. We're just going to go ahead and use marker. So I'm going to take yellow and I'm going to write some words of encouragement for this season, which is the year of the horse, year of the fire horse even, which sounds intense. And that'll go in the back, and then we're just going to paint over it. But let me go ahead and write those words of encouragement. And I'm just using just an acrylic marker pen, nothing fancy. All right, so I don't do this all the time, but I do it a lot, and I write sort of an affirmation or a feeling or something that I want to move forward. And on this one, I just wrote, may all my encounters be one of understanding and love, human, rooted in the joy of being alive to the moment. As a year of the fire horse gallops ahead, may what needs to be burned and scorched turn to ash to become earth again. And may everything else soar into the sky to dance amongst the clouds. So yeah, that's kind of fun. It's kind of a fun practice to like root the painting in something. And so yeah, that's what that was. And then honestly, we're just going to paint it shades of very light blue, because the whole idea for this painting will be that the horse is galloping through the sky. And yeah, I'm excited about it. So I'm going to grab a little white and a little of that cerulean, but very little, because I'm looking for almost a baby blue. I know I haven't made enough, so I'm going to go ahead and grab more white and a little bit more cerulean. Let me show you the color that I'm looking at. So like really baby blue. And my brush is probably too small, but we're just going to cover all that up and seal it into the painting. And we may shift this blue as we go along, right? It doesn't have to stay exactly the same. That's the fun part, is that it can shift a little darker, a little lighter. Maybe at some point we'll add a little pink, but we're going to just cover the whole thing. Okay, I think we're good. You can still see, I'll pull you a little closer. You can still see a bit of the yellow poking through. And of course it's not just blue, right? Because sky would never just be blue, but this will be the first step. And yeah, I think this is gonna be great. I'm so excited to finally be working on this. I just love it. I just think it's great. I think it's great. Let's see if that other painting is dry enough to add a little white, light color to. And then, yeah, let's just see. Let's see. I'm going to move this. Let's see. We're still pretty green. So instead, let's let this dry for real. We'll just let it dry. I should have done these two at the same time so I could go back and forth, but it's okay. We'll do that. Let's put that green in a sketchbook and we do a little chit chat. Oh, I had so many good ideas about these paintings. Some of you said to put the words right on it. Some of you said to collage the words. Some of you said to put the words along the edge. Some of you said to take the words and like trail them off. I have not done any of it because I'm still thinking. I don't want to rush it, so I'm just thinking about what I want to do. But I really liked so many of your suggestions. My concern, I think I would like to try collage, but my concern is that I have an inkjet printer. And the ink, I think if I were to put any kind of medium on it, would blur the ink. So I really need to do a test first before I do anything actually on the canvases. So that's where this project is. They're living over here for right now. All right. Oh, move this. I just finished this. I don't know if anyone has read it. It's been on the New York Times bestseller list for a while. I liked it. It's a nice story. It reminds me a bit of Tuesdays with Maury, if any of you are old enough to remember that book. It's a very kind book. And so if you need some easy, kind of heartwarming kindness in your life right now, it might be a good choice. Yeah. So let's get some of this green on here. So I have been writing. I don't know if you guys know, but I have a Substack where in the notes on Substack, I put art as I'm working on it. So if you ever want to follow that, you can go subscribe. The link's down below. Anyway, but I also I write, and I am writing sort of a series on my transformation and how I feel about leadership. And that the first one goes up when this video actually comes out. I'm excited about it. You know, YouTube sort of forces channels to be all one thing. And if you change that, they don't show your video. And so when I started this channel, I kind of wanted to do a mix of my life and sort of, lack of a better word, wisdom from living, and things I've learned along the way, and my art. And I could not get that content, I guess. I hate to call it content, but that you know, that's what it is. I couldn't get that content to make any movement, and so I don't really film that, but I do write about it. And I write every 2 weeks. I write a letter that goes out, and this week is really all about just my views on being a leader and what it means to lead movements and people and projects. And anyway, if that's something that interests you, like my life in the real world, I also am thinking about adding more there with things about living here. I live rurally on 15 acres in the Ozark Mountains, and I do think people might like to see that, kind of like the little video I showed at the beginning of spring, of what's happening. And so I show some photos there. I'm starting to show some photos of that and the reasons why we moved to a rural small town before vlogging was a thing, and actually before blogging was a thing. And so we were doing it before you would document all of that and become famous for that. We just did it because that was the choice in the life that we made. Anyway, I'm starting to share some of that too. And if you're interested in that, in the way that we live and where this art comes from, I'm sharing it there. Yeah. So this is one of the things I like to do when I have extra paint, is to just put it in the sketchbook. And sometimes I just slap it in, I just slap it in and I draw over it. And sometimes more like this, it's more like a quiet way of exploring shape and the beauty of paint brush strokes. And yeah, it's never wasted. I say that all the time, but you are never wasting paint. You are exploring and learning, and it's lovely. It's just lovely. So if you ever have extra paint and you have a sketchbook, this is a nice way. This is a nice way to use it. I will say this is not a sketchbook that's made for paint at all. This is a, kind of really cheap paper, but I don't care because it's just exploration. That's all I'm doing in it, is just exploration and also using up the paint, right? So it doesn't just end up in the trash. Like it becomes beautiful all on its own. Or if I ever do draw over this or paint over it, there's something to work with. So yeah, it's kind of a nice practice. Yeah. Fun. Also, it's just fun. It's just fun. Oh, I noticed you can see Peloton. There used to be this futon over there from Japan, actually, that my brother had brought back. And the dog stopped sleeping on it because he didn't like to jump up. And so we moved that out. That's going to be on our outside porch, which is great. Covered porch. And the Peloton fits there. It is funny. I have to kind of go under those little tissue flags, and then I'm in my own little world back there. But it's nice. It's also nice to be in your own little world sometimes. So I am so glad to be here. Next time, I promise, I will not paint on the painting. I will not paint on the painting, and we'll add more. That's just how it's going to work. Just to build it slowly, and maybe by the beginning of summer it will be done. The other painting, the horse painting, I probably will work forward. And like I said, if you want to see the process of that, I will probably share that in Substack. But you'll see it at the end, and you'll see it in the end. But whatever you're doing, I hope you're enjoying this. I guess it would be either spring or fall, depending where you are in the hemispheres. And so a transitionary season, and I hope that transition is good for you. It is for me. I have to remember this. I should put it on the calendar. Winter is hard and spring is good. I think that I need the reminder. Anyway, you're never wasting paint. It's great to be in the studio. And I look forward to, showing you more stuff. And I'll be back in 2 weeks. Remember, I've gone to every 2 week schedule for YouTube, but I'll see you in 2 weeks, and I cannot wait. Cannot wait.